Hi, and welcome to the Crisis Center today in beautiful Ann Arbor, Michigan, as we are covering the men's basketball event as the Delaware State Hornets take on the Michigan Wolverines today. Both teams coming off 2 blowout losses as of late, and just a note for tonight that there's a notable player tonight not in uniform today, and as you all may have heard yesterday, Spike Albrecht declared that he'll be retiring today, and he wasn't able to fully recover from the 2 hip surgeries. And Matthew, what would you like to say about that?
Well, it's disappointing. I think all Michigan fans love Spike Albrecht, and people who know him around the country as general basketball fans love Spike Albrecht. Of course, it's no more disappointing for the fans as it is, I'm sure, to Spike Albrecht himself and his teammates. And one big thing to note, though, is that because of this news, Michigan is kind of depleted at the guard situation. Derek Walton is hurt right now. He was warming up for this game, but he's questionable to start as he hasn't played the last 2 games. So Beeline announced yesterday that he's burning his red shirt on Andrew Dockage. We saw him warming up so far this morning, and he looks like he's ready to go and get some minutes.
Exactly, yep, and definitely as announced yesterday, Derek Walton, he did warm up today, but he also warmed against SMU, didn't play there, so we'll definitely see tonight if he will be playing. And I guess going off of that, we could talk about how other notable injuries, such as DJ Wilson tonight did not warm up, and he will not be playing, as other multiple injuries that Beeline had talked about but not disclosed yesterday. So going into the game, what do you want to see from the Delaware State Hornets as well as from the Michigan Wolverines?
I'll start with Michigan, and so you mentioned it, both teams were blown out in their last games. The Wolverines traveled to Dallas to play SMU and lost 82-58. A really poor performance by the Wolverines. They shot 27% from 3, something that will not get them a win, the style of play they have. Now, Duncan Robinson shot 5 for 9 and is 3rd in the nation in 3-point percentage, but that wasn't enough because Karis LeVert, a preseason list for the Naismith Award, shot 1 for 13 with tons of NBA scouts there. 5 points, 1 for 13 is not going to get it done, and that's why the Wolverines weren't able to win. Also, though, the bigs for the Wolverines were nowhere to be found. Ricky Doyle had only 4 points in the game. Wagner, 0. Wilson, 0. Donnell, 0. This game, obviously, there's a lot of ways for Beeline's team to recover, but I think the big men down low with Wilson out is one thing that has to switch. We trust Karis LeVert will be able to score against Delaware State, but the bigs need to get it done too.
Yeah, exactly. The bigs definitely need to get more into action. They just haven't. There's just no inside presence here for the Michigan Wolverines, and we have seen it as they've played, 3, 4 imposingly big teams. You look at Xavier, UConn, both have, Brema. They have these imposing bigs that just Michigan has been unable to handle. And we are getting ready for tip-off today, as look for the Michigan Wolverines is Ricky Doyle at the 5, along with Duncan Robinson, Zach Irving, and Karis LeVert at the wings, and Ali Abdur-Rahman today at the point. And Delaware State wins the tip here as Mallory pulls over to and gets into the post to the man out of Nigeria, and he'll take a 3 there, miss off the front of the rim, and Karis LeVert with a rebound, and Karis LeVert takes up the floor today. Out on the wing, Zach Irving finds open space, pulls up for the jumper, in and out, no good, as Todd Hughes gets the rebound, gives it up to Khalid Thompson, who brings it over. Back over to Mallory, and sitting into Khalid Thomas. Khalid Thomas dribbling right in front of Mark, has nothing. Gives it to Todd Hughes, guarded by Karis LeVert. Spin moves, falls on the ground, passes it out, unable to do it. 1 second on shot clock, and that'll be a shot clock violation as it go over to the Michigan Wolverines.
Delaware State unable to get anything moving there. They just sat outside the 3-point line for quite a while and had no idea the shot clock was running down. Great defense by the Wolverines.
And Karis LeVert takes up the court, passes out to Mar right above the M here. Swings over to an open Zach Irving, who puts up the 3 from the corner, off the front rim, unable to convert there.
Irvin has been cold as of recent, unable to hit any of his first 2 shots early on.
And Khalid Thompson swings it over to Todd Hughes, who quickly takes a 3-point off the back rim. No good, but there on the rebound for Delaware State, and gives it back out to Thomas here, and he'll reset. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Dribbles. Nothing in front of Mar. No passing. Michigan Wolverines playing great defense. Duncan Robinson slacks off, unable to cover a missed jump shot there by Kevin Waller.
Now, Delaware State was able to get the offensive board, but we've watched the Wolverines for a while, and we know they struggle on the glass. Outboarded 42-20 in the game against SMU, but I think one of the few teams worse in the country at rebounding is Delaware State. Only one man over 6'9" on this team.
And Duncan Robinson puts up the 3 and drains it. Puts up Michigan on the board here, up 3-0 with 2 minutes into the game so far. As Todd Hughes takes the ball on the wing. Looking to pass, nothing. Out to Thomas, met by Mar. Thomas dribbling, send the offense up. And looks like we have... Oh, and Todd Hughes comes out. Mallory, who puts up the 3, unable to convert. Mar with the rebound. He'll take it out here on the fast break. He's got 3 Michigan Wolverines. Gets it, Zach Irving, passes it back to Mar, puts up the layup, and in.
Great in-transition offense. Mar to Zach Irving, and right back to Mar, who gets the easy lay-in.
And Thomas will take it back up the court here. See if Delaware's taking the first points of the game. And Thomas swings it, brings it back over in the wing, looking for an open Todd Hughes, who finally gets the ball. Duncan Robinson playing tight defense here. Out to Waller, back to Todd Hughes, swings it over to Thomas, who gets the ball and low on the shot clock. 5 seconds here, dribbling, trying to get past Karis LeVert, gets it up somehow, nearly converts over Karis LeVert's outstretched arms, but unable to. Karis LeVert takes it back down the floor. Joe moves, gets into paint here, looks for a cutting Mar, puts it up, blocked there by Anafide there. What a great recovery there on defense. Delaware State will take it back up the floor. And Todd Hughes got called for the traveling there, didn't move with the pivot foot, and it'll go Michigan Wolverines away.
Good defense on both sides so far. Great movement by LeVert to cause the pressure in the lane deep in the shot clock, get out in transition, but Mar was blocked down low. Delaware State with some solid defense of their own.
And Rockman will take it up the court here, swings it over to Duncan Robinson on the wing, finds another cutting Karis LeVert, unable, met by 2 Delaware State Hornets. And swings it back out to Duncan Robinson, who puts up the 3 without hesitation, but offside of the rim. Delaware State way.
Not a bad look, but he was still in motion, wasn't completely set when he took that shot.
And Kevin Waller brings up the court and gives it back out to Thomas, who holds it at the M. Calls the offense over to Mallory. Jab steps at Duncan Robinson, nothing. Anafide outside the arc. Ricky Doyle giving him huge space there. And Thomas takes the pick here by Mallory, gets switched on to Karis LeVert, drives in, kicks it out to Todd Hughes, who puts up the 3 again and drills it finally. Delaware State gets on the board here with 4 minutes in. Oh, looks to be his foot on the line, and that'll be a 2 here.
Yeah, Delaware State's not known for shooting threes, and I know this was a 2, and they're 0 for 3 so far. 27% on the season from 3.
And Zach Irving gets in the corner, swings back to Karis, who then puts it back to Zach Irving, gets a cutting, puts up the reverse. Beautiful lay-in right there.
Great move by Zach Irvin from outside the three-point line, runs baseline and puts it up on the opposite side. If he can't shoot from long range, he might as well take it to the hoop and does well there.
He gets it into Callie Thomas, who Thomas brings up the court and then gets it poked away there by Zach Irving. Great defense there. And we'll go into our first media timeout here with 15:35 left. Michigan up 7 to the Delaware State Hornets 2.
Great defense by the Wolverines so far, holding Delaware State to 2 points. They're shooting 1 for 6 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3, as we mentioned, and that's surprising to see Delaware State attempting this many threes. As I mentioned, they're not a great three-point shooting team. They must come into Chrysler knowing that the Wolverines shoot a lot of threes and think they have to compete with them. When you have Duncan Robinson go out and hit his first 3, it's a little intimidating. He hits the one right off the bat that you feel like you have to answer.
Yeah, and Coach Walker, maybe he's in this timeout, he could be telling them to settle down. They have been taking forceful shots, and they've been taking them early in the shot clock. They just haven't. They've seen rushed here by the Michigan Wolverines defense.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge part of it. Is the Michigan Wolverines defense, despite having Duncan Robinson on the floor, who we all know is not the best defender, is doing very well so far. Like you've mentioned, when they haven't shot that early shot in the shot clock, they've taken it down to less than 3 seconds left in the shot clock on 3 possessions so far, and had the shot clock violation where they couldn't even take a shot. So the Wolverines defense is outstanding so far, and it's early, but I would expect the game to continue on that path.
Yeah, and definitely being a bottom 5 Division I team for the Hornets, you'd expect Michigan Wolverines here to be you know, strutting their stuff, showing off that three-point stroke that's famous for the beeline offense, and really out-competing the Delaware State Hornets.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think this is one of those games where if the Wolverines shot as poorly as they did against SMU, you would still expect them to win big. As we mentioned before the game, hopefully the bigs can get into this one. Ricky Doyle hasn't done anything so far, but of course we're 3 minutes in the game. Though with DJ Wilson out, hopefully that opens an opportunity for, is it Doyle, is it Wagner, is it Donnell, to have a standout game and really build some confidence as we have a couple more games until we hit Big Ten season.
This is definitely a 3-4 game stretch here the Michigan Wolverines need to win out on. They're not facing anybody of real competition, especially of Big Ten caliber that you'd expect. I mean, they play, playing Delaware State today. They have, I believe, Northern Kentucky later. In Bryant, they finished out Bryant before, and then they won't begin Big Ten play until they open up on the road against Illinois here. So doesn't look to be much competition until then.
Yeah, we're in this awkward state of college basketball where we had all these preseason tournaments and we had these ACC versus Big Ten matchups that everyone gets really excited, but then everyone has these 4 or 5 games as a little letdown before their conference matchups.
Yeah, and definitely if I'm Beeline, I'm looking for a confidence builder here out of the bigs to get them some points, get them some action so they can get a good feel before Big Ten play starts.
Of course.
And Delaware State inbounds out to Thomas, who dribbles the ball right above the key here, looking for something. Is not getting anything here. The Delaware State Hornets are not getting any offenses. He has to create his own spin moves and passes back out, but Duncan Robinson there on the steal brings it up to Zach Irving. Zach Irving brings it into the paint, back in the corner, trapped, picks up dribble, and passes it out to Duncan Robinson, but tipped away there by Waller.
Exciting to see Duncan Robinson get a steal. They worked Delaware State down deep into the shot clock. There was only 3 seconds left on the shot clock before that turnover regardless.
Yeah, great defense there by the Michigan Wolverines. They didn't let any off-ball offense occur there, and they Thomas just had nowhere to go with the dribble, and he was nowhere to pass, nowhere to dribble, and in a bad possession here. And it looks like there'll be a
technical foul on Delaware State. Karis LeVert's going to go to the line. The ref's not making it clear who it's called on, and not much physical action was in play. We maybe assumed something was said on the court.
Yeah, some remark or something. But Karis LeVert here will take the technical free throw, and he'll put it up and miss off the front of the rim, unlike him. And he'll stay here on Michigan Wolverines side.
23 seconds left on the shot clock for the Wolverines. A really weird situation which nothing was clearly called.
And Karis LeVert will inbound here. Got a stacked formation, gets it out to Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson dribbles in, unable to get any penetration, gives it back out to Karis LeVert, who jab steps up at the M right now. Swings it over to the corner to Duncan, who passes it back out to Rockman. Rockman to Karis LeVert. We got a little 3-man action here as Karis LeVert kicks it back out to Duncan Robinson, who drives in, gets it past Mallory, and gets it to Ricky Doyle, puts up the reverse, and fouled, and one, puts it in here. What a powerful move there by Ricky Doyle.
Yeah, and a great play by Duncan Robinson, too. He was outside the three-point line with less than 4 seconds on the shot clock, able to dribble in, do a little head fake, and then dish it down low to Doyle on a little almost handoff, and that's what we love to see out of Ricky Doyle. Powerful move below the basket.
And it's something that we definitely want to see here out of Ricky Doyle, and as we possibly might see Wagner later in the game, or even Donnell, is that finishing in the paint. And Thomas here will take it back up the court, who swings it over to Hughes. Hughes right in front of Karis LeVert. Swings it over to Mallory, who's met by Zach Irving, back to Thomas. And Todd Hughes gets a penetration, kicks it out to Waller, sorry about that, and drains the corner 3 here as the Hornets cut into the Michigan Wolverine lead here, only up by 5.
Yeah, Zach Irving got beat by his man easily at the key and kicked it out to Waller on the left side. Great move by Delaware State to flush home a 3.
And Karis LeVert takes a pick here by Ricky Doyle, swings it around, tries to drill into the paint, unable to, kicks it out to Mar, who puts up a spin move, little pop jump shot, unable to convert there, got a little too fancy as Thomas gets the board and will take it back up here for the Hornets.
A pretty move, but unable to set his feet before that shot.
Yeah, fancy moves, lackluster finish there. And Thomas swings out to the top of the key to Waller, who gives it to Anafide, who puts up the awkward jump shot, unable to convert there. Zach Irving with the board. And the Michigan Wolverines will take it back up the court. And gives it to Karis LeVert, who dribbles, takes a pick by Ricky Doyle, puts up the 3 and drills it there.
Love to see that from Karis LeVert, a move we did not see against SMU, but hitting a 3 early on is great for his confidence.
Yeah, and the Michigan Wolverines here up 13-5 with 13:29 here to go in the first half as Thomas dribbles, unable to get anything going, trying to create some moves off mark. Step backs for the three off the back rim, unable to convert as Karis LeVert takes up the court here. Michigan Wolverines on the fast break got many Michigan Wolverines down on the fast break here, but Karis LeVert takes it up and gets fouled there on the layup, and he'll go to the line for 2.
A great move by Karis LeVert to push the pace and get the foul, but disappointing offense by Delaware State. I mean, Thomas just sat at the top, took one jab step, and then faded away for a 3. They're not a great three-point shooting team, and he just wasted an opportunity.
And he puts in the first one there.
And Dockich is checking in for the Wolverines for the first time this season.
And he will officially burn his red shirt here, as he did last year, having to step in for injured point guards again. So great to see him giving it up for the team here. As Dockich is now on Thomas, who gets picked here, gives it back out to Mallory at the top of the key, dribbling, gets past Zach Irvin, kicks it out, tipped by Dockich, and go out of bounds. So stay here on the Hornets side.
Moritz Wagner also checked in at the break for Ricky Doyle, so he'll get his first minutes of the game.
And we'll have a substitute in here as Jason Owens comes in for Mallory for the Delaware State Hornets.
Delaware State is number 23, Jason Owens.
And Waller here will inbound. Covered tightly, gets it to Jason Owens, who passes it back out to Thompson. Thomas will set the offense here up at the half-court mark. And he takes a pick here. Wagner getting lost on the pick, hedged too hard, had an open 3 there for Delaware, unable to convert, and offensive rebound here, gets it back out to Thomas. Sets it up at the M here. Fresh shot clock. Right under 22 seconds here. And takes a pick by Owens, unable to get anything, swings it out to the top of the key. As Scott Sill puts it up, unable to convert, and Andrew Dockich with the board, and he takes it down the court. Risky pass there, got tipped by Delaware State Hornets, went out of bounds, and fortunate for the Michigan Wolverines to stay on the side.
It's still questionable offense from the Hornets. They're shooting a lot of threes early on, 6 shots from 3 so far, and they've only made 1 of them. They're not getting it done by doing that. Scott Sill shooting from outside, a big man, is not going to do it. He's not Dirk Nowitzki. I don't know why he's taking a shot 2 feet out. They're going to beat the Wolverines. They have to attack down low.
Yeah, they're going to have to impose down low if they want to even open anything out on the three-point line. And Duncan Robbins here is the main ball player. Out to Moritz Wagner, who gets into Cam Chapman, seeing his first little action here. And Andrew Dockich drives into the paint, unable to see anything. Kicks it out to Cam Chapman, who dribbles in, kicks it out to Andrew Dockich, pump fakes, puts up for the layup, and scores!
Andrew Dockich, a great move. Head fake from 3 and took the easy lane, hot route to the basket and lays it in.
And 12 minutes here to go in the Chrysler Center for the first half. Michigan Wolverines take a 17-5 here lead over the Hornets as Thomas takes the ball here, met by Andrew Dockich. Unable to get anything here. And he drives in. Andrew Dockich egging him on. Not getting anything. Dishes it out to Jason Owens, who puts it to Thomas. Thomas drips it in, puts a nice little dribble pass, and is called for the offensive charge here. Runs right into Duncan Robinson as we'll go into our second media timeout here. 11:39 to go in the first half here in Chrysler Center as the Michigan Wolverines hold a comfortable 17-5 lead over the Hornets.
It's exciting to have Dockich out on the court. I mean, you know he was thrilled. We saw him in warm-ups, and he just looked like he had a little extra hop in his step. Immediately hits the court and makes a difference with a great combination with Duncan Robinson as well as Cam Chapman to get the move from outside the three-point line and dribble in, take a nice easy layup. Definitely a confidence booster for him, and definitely Beeline as well, who made a bold move to put him in this early.
Yeah, exactly. Saw a little early on action for Dockich. Made that nice little scoop layup there over Delaware State Hornet defender. Getting a little action. I remember last year he drilled a 3 in the corner. I believe it was against Wisconsin, and that was one of the bigger moments there for Dockich in his career, no doubt. Because he airballed the first 2 threes that he had open, and then finally got it in there. And it was, great to see Dockich out on the floor.
I think he learned something from that, because he did have space to shoot a 3 on this possession, and did a little head fake, able to slip past his defender and get the layup.
And yeah, exactly. Didn't take it in, drove in. Got a higher percentage shot for him, definitely. And update you on the stats here. Leading scorer for the Michigan Wolverines and for all three and for both teams is Karis LeVert here. He is 1 for 1. He had that nice pull-up 3 here, and he's 2 of 3 from the free throw line, unable to convert that technical. And following that, we have Duncan Robinson, who's 1 of 2 from three-point land. And on the other side for the Delaware State Hornets, only Waller with the only 3-point of the night for the Hornets, 1 for 7. He's the leading scorer here with 3 points. Then Todd Hughes with 2 points, who had that long jump shot there.
Yeah, it's hard to do a leading scorer when Delaware State only has 5 points.
Exactly. And the fact that we were able to pick out which shot went in is...
Yeah. 2 for 11 from the field isn't really that exciting. That's only 18%, while Michigan's shooting 55%. Very solid. 50% from 3, 2 for 4. You have the Karis LeVert one and the Duncan Robinson. A good start for the Wolverines, definitely, to be up 12, only 8 minutes into the game. And it's something we expected a little from Doyle down low, as well as the outside shooting.
Exactly. And coming out of the timeout here, we have, for the Delaware State Hornets, we're seeing the leading scorer for them for the first time today. DeAndre Hayward will check in, along with Devin Morgan Jr., and we'll have Jason Owens and Sill at the front court, and we'll have Waller at the wing here. As Cam Chapman finds a cutting Duncan Robinson, and he slams it home. What a beautiful backdoor cut right there.
Yeah, precisely, and a great way to get up and down for Duncan Robinson, getting high above the rim.
And Cam Chapman here guarding on Jason Owens, swings it out to Devin Morgan, who gets his first action of the day, and Jason Owens swings it out into the corner to Haywood, unable to get anything. Karis LeVert right in his face, and Devin Morgan Jr. will put up the 3 right in front of Dockage's face and drill it.
I think he wanted to silence me. I've been giving him some grief early on for shooting this many threes, and about 3 feet outside the arc there, and hits it.
Yeah, Coach Walker definitely tell him to light it up there. And Cam Chapman takes a long 2 here and scores. What a good confidence builder here for Cam Chapman.
Yeah, Cam Chapman, not the best shooter so far in his Michigan career, I would say, but a beautiful shot. Got a little separation and pops it.
And Haywood puts it up, blocked there by Michigan Wolverines as Cam Chapman takes on the fast break, finds an open Karis LeVert, defers out to Duncan Robinson, unable to find anything. Open Karis LeVert 3, puts it up and drills it. Michigan on top, 24 to Delaware State Hornets 8.
Dockage is pumped, waving his arm in a windmill motion. The Wolverines are flowing right now, up 24 to 8.
Yep, right here, above 10 minutes here to go in the first half here. Michigan holding a comfortable lead here. Cam Chapman on Hayward Jr. Didn't get anything. Switches back over to Jason Owens, unable to convert the jump shot there. Gets the offensive board, gives it to Devin Morgan, who puts it up without hesitation. Miss there. Rebound, Michigan Wolverines, as Karis LeVert will take up the floor. And Karis LeVert nearly gets the pass stolen there by the Delaware State Hornets, who gets it over to Wagner. Wagner kicks it out to Cam Chapman, who puts up the 3 and drills it. Back-to-back shots by Cam Chapman. Both go in for him. Good start.
Firing on all cylinders. Everyone is having a good start so far, and a great pass by Dockage to find Chapman open. Once again, Dockage had an open look himself. Unselfishly passes out. Heat check for Cam Chapman, and he hits it.
And Devin Morgan dribbling here. Karis LeVert getting a little aggressive. Tried to take the steal there. Didn't. And Haywood puts it out to Sill, who drills the 3. Big man got a little stroke here.
I guess so. Underestimated the first time. A nice clean 3 there gets Delaware State up to 11.
And Dockage gets past Devin Morgan, puts in an errant pass, and is stolen by Devin Morgan Jr., who dishes it out to Haywood and puts up the layup on the fast break. Unable to convert there. Gets the offensive board, though. Swings it back out, and the Hornets will reset as Devin Morgan Jr. gets it in the corner. Steps up for the quick little jump shot and drills it here. Cuts into the lead for the Michigan Wolverines. 27 to 13 now.
Oh, a lot of open bodies right now. The Wolverines defense is kind of loosened up, and they're getting some open shots. Now, they're long-range shots, and impressive by Morgan to hit that one, but still, the Wolverines defense has to pick it up.
And Karis LeVert there drives baseline, tries to find an open Wagner, but Sill sticks out his leg there, get called for the kickball violation as Duncan Robinson and Karis LeVert will check out for the Michigan Wolverines. Aubrey Dawkins and Zach Irving in.
Yeah, good to see Aubrey Dawkins get into the game. His minutes stolen a little by Chapman getting in early, as well as Duncan Robinson starting.
And Zach Irving tries to get in, finds Vince Wagner, who tries to put it in the fancy little layup, gets denied there by Jason Owens. And Vince Wagner met by 3 Hornets. Swings it out Michigan ball going everywhere. Cam Chapman found open in the corner, puts up the 3, in and out. Heat check there, unable to convert.
Unlucky. A great move by Dockage once again, finding the open man. Chapman on the wing, low in the shot clock, but unable as it rims out.
And Devin Morgan here sets up the offense, kicks it out to Vakalin, sees his first action, and Haywood there gets around the pick from Sill. Sill out, puts an errant pass, goes out of bounds into the Maze Rage here as the ball will go to the Michigan Wolverines. And there'll be our third immediate timeout here, under 8 minutes. Michigan Wolverines on top, 27 to the Hornets 13 here. Cam Chapman drilling those 2 great shots there. Then got heat checked, of course, on that open 3. And he's been a good spark here so far. It's good to see him getting some action. You know, he's been very passive so far this season. So
definitely, I would say so for his early Michigan career as well. A lot of people expected him to be a dominant player, and he hasn't been as such. But he definitely has those flashes where you could see him taking over a basketball game. Doing well so far, and the Wolverines kind of need it. Their defense is lacking since this last media timeout. Delaware State having a couple more open looks. I think the defense has gotten a little more loose because Delaware State was unable to hit any long-range shots. But this time they've answered, now 3 for 10 from 3, so 30%, up to 13 points now in the game to Michigan's 27.
Yeah, exactly. And the 2 3-point points have definitely dug into the lead here. Michigan Wolverines have loosened up a bit, given these Hornets space, giving them an opportunity to drill, and they've definitely converted on the opportunities that they've had. You look at Devin Morgan, came off the bench, normally a starter, already on the board with 5 points here. Had one of those 3-pointers for the Hornets, and he's definitely been a spark. He's given this Hornets team some life here. Coach Walker, great move to put him in, and as well as Haywood, who already has 3 assists, playmaking, getting open shots. Definitely good news so far.
Yeah, and I think one other way not that they're staying in the game, I mean they're down 14, but giving a little fight is they have gotten a couple of offensive boards. The rebounding score right now is 10-10, and normally you would expect this to favor the Wolverines. As I mentioned, tallest player in Delaware State is 6'9", so the Wolverines have a couple big men, although DJ Wilson is out. Though Delaware State is one of the worst rebounding teams in the country. Their plus-minus is -13 average per game in the rebounding category. They got doubled last game in their game against Old Dominion, where they got stomped 82-38. Now, Michigan, as we mentioned, is not the best rebounding team themselves, but this is one game in which you would expect the Wolverines to win. However, early on, Delaware State is showing they have some fight on the boards.
Exactly, and Beeline really does rely on this guard rebounding, and guard mismatches all over here for the Hornets as against these Michigan Wolverines. So I'm surprised there's not more of an out-rebounding advantage so far. Definitely want to see that as an adjustment if I'm Coach Beeline here, because it'll get them more opportunities, and the Michigan Wolverines need it because they are a jump shooting team. They're not traditionally getting in the paint, finding a post presence since Mitch McGarry. So, and here we are back in action as Karis LeVert will take the inbound pass here. Drilled a couple of times. Is met here by the zone. Looks to be a 2-3 zone here from the Hornets. And Aubrey Dawkins finds an open 3 in the corner, puts it up, in and out. But that is how you beat the 2-3 zones. You find open 3-point shooters.
Yeah, they found him in the corner and just wanted to get a feel for himself. Dawkins hadn't taken a shot yet. Not a bad jumper. Rims in and out.
And Devin Morgan here over on the left side corner setting up the offense. Gets it out to Haywood, who is met by Aubrey Dawkins. And Devin Morgan Jr. looks over to Coach Walker. Gets a sign. Takes a pick here by Sill. Dishes it out to Sill. Sill puts up his third 3-point attempt, in and out here. He's now 1 for 3 as Zach Irving gets the board and takes down the court for the Michigan Wolverines. And puts up the lob for Aubrey, who nearly puts it in, unable to. And almost put back by Donnell. He didn't convert either as the Hornets will take back up the court here. Got Chrysler Center on their feet for sure.
Not a bad look. Dawkins unable to slam it home though.
And Haywood drives into the paint, unable to convert on the layup as Michigan Wolverines take it back down the court again. Finds it, Cam Chapman finds it open Zach Irving, who passes out to Karis LeVert. And Karis LeVert gets to an open 3, puts it up, unable to convert here as the Delaware State Hornets take it the other way.
Yeah, not a bad looks by the Wolverines, still taking a lot of threes early on. 50% now from 3, 4 for 8 after those couple misses.
And score here for the Michigan Wolverines, and the Hornets still 27-13. The ball goes out of play here. Aubrey Dawkins looked to corral it. I guess he stepped his foot on the line there. As it'll stay here on the Hornets side.
A couple subs for the Wolverines. Mark Donnell checked in at the last break from Moritz Wagner. Now Duncan Robinson, Zach Irvin, Marr, and Karis Levert on the court.
Then on the other side, we'll see our first action here out of Joseph Lewis, who is the second leading scorer for the Hornets, and he'll check in at the 5 for the Hornets. And Haywood gets the ball, swings it out to Owens, who gives it off to Devin Morgan Jr. right in front of Duncan Robinson. Not exactly a matchup I want. And foul here on, looks to be on Rockman here. Gave Tavaklin the elbow as he tried to drive and pass him. Little armbar there, got caught for it. And the Delaware State Hornets will get a fresh shot clock here, 30 seconds, as Devin Morgan Jr. will inbound it.
We're only half an hour into this game clockwise, and we're at the 6-minute mark. That was the first foul on the Wolverines this game.
A great discipline for them. They average well under 20 fouls a game. And the Delaware State Hornets swing it out to Devin Morgan Jr., who holds the ball, looking for some Hornets to get open. He finally finds Joseph Lewis, who puts up the 3, unable to convert as Marr gets the rebound and takes it down the court.
Yeah, not a great look for having your center popping that 3.
And Karis Levert drives baseline here, gets caught up in the air, lands on his feet before he's able to get the pass out of his hands, gets out of bounds, and goes Hornets' way.
The energy is kind of deflated out of Chrysler Center right now. Neither team getting much done. Score is still at 27-13, same as our last break, and not much offense on either side. A lot of long-range shots that aren't falling.
Yeah, exactly. Not a lot of offense here. Last score for either team came 3 minutes and 6 minutes ago, or 3 minutes and 6 seconds ago by the Delaware State Hornets. And the first basket goes in here for the Hornets. I think that was Devin Morgan Jr. who put up the layup, as Rockman takes it up the court here. Nearly stolen away by Jason Owens. Got a little aggressive there over to Duncan Robinson. Tipped it out of bounds. Stays on Michigan Wolverines side as Ricky Doyle checks in here for Mark Donnell.
Interesting decision by John Beilein. Donnell had not much action in that game so far, and maybe that's why he's coming out. Ricky Doyle right back in.
And Marr and Karis Levert playing some 1-2 catch at the moment. Gives it over to Zach Irving here, sets up the high screen offense. Passes out to Ricky Doyle, who hands it off, gets into an open Karis Levert, who defers out to Duncan Robinson, who's unable to get the 3 to go. Rebound by Ricky Doyle. What a great move there. Who finds Duncan Robinson, drives into the basket, kicks out to Zach Irving. Back to Duncan Robinson in the corner here, met by Joseph Lewis, nothing there. Swings out to Zach Irving, who resets the offense, finds an open lane in paint, puts it up and dunks it in. That's nice to see from Zach Irving, who came off the back surgery this offseason.
Great take by him, found the open lane and went hard. No one able to stop him high flying like that, one-handed jam.
Yeah, beautiful athletic move there. Great to see him back with his hops as Delaware State Hornets take it up. Devin Morgan Jr. dribbling, looking for some sort of pick, not getting it, not getting what he wants. Defers off to Haywood. Haywood, met by Karis Levert and Ricky Doyle, picks up his dribble. And the Delaware State Hornets looking a bit frazzled here, unable to get anything, as swings it out, as Devin Morgan finds it out to a curling Tavaklin, puts up the 3 and splashes it home.
Yeah, a beautiful shot by him. He has great form out on that wing and hits the 3 for Delaware State. Now 4 for 13 from outside the arc.
Yeah, and Michigan Wolverines here still with the lead, 29-18, as Zach Irving cuts in and puts a beautiful dunk, one-handed jam.
More excitement out of Zach Irving, finds some space down low, and once again jumps up high and slams it home with one hand, screaming to the student section after that big one.
And Devin Morgan Jr. at the M, looking for some sort of offense. Unable to get the pass to Owens. Gets stolen by Duncan Robinson, who gets it out to Karis Levert. Puts up the lay-in on the fast break and converts. Michigan Wolverines on top here, 33-18 with right above 3:15 to go here in the first half.
Great move in transition. 3-on-1 for the Wolverines. Goes to Karis Levert and puts in the bucket.
As Jason Owens here, met by Zach Irving, nothing, kicks it back out here to Devin Morgan Jr. Devin Morgan Jr. dribbling, gets the pick there by Joseph Lewis, cuts between the two Michigan Wolverines defenders and is caught. Oh, it looks like Marr is calling the foul for reaching in there, trying to prevent him from getting to the rack. As there'll be another timeout on the court here by Coach John Beilein. And 3 minutes and 2 seconds here to go in the first half. Michigan Wolverines looking good there.
Yeah, they did well in transition, causing a couple turnovers. Now Delaware stayed up to 7 turnovers to Michigan's only 2. Those points in transition, 10 points for the Wolverines to Delaware State's only 4. Now, a great move. Anytime you have Karis LeVert sprinting out on a fast break, you know he's going to finish in the lane. He does so there and is up to 10 points on the night, doubling what he had against SMU.
Yeah, Karis LeVert looking great so far, as we expect, coming off a very poor shooting. I believe he was 1 of 13 or 1 of 12 from the field against SMU, and he didn't show up last year against SMU either. Karis LeVert, he hasn't had the Trey Burke transcendent moments yet, or the Nick Stauskas that we sort of expect him to have on the big stage. Hasn't shown up so far this season.
Yeah, and I think he's had all these big games, and he's a Naismith preseason on the list for the Naismith Award because he scores so many points. But you're right, so far all of these games have been, not Big Ten-esque quality opponents. Now, they had a game against NC State where he went off as well as Texas, but by no teams are those quality opponents like SMU was.
Yeah, SMU is the first. Them and definitely UConn were both teams on the schedule. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But both teams on the schedule that were tests for Karis LeVert, tests for the Michigan Wolverines that they haven't passed yet. Mm-hmm. And Xavier should have been a win as well, unable to do that there. We see that when the Michigan Wolverines have been facing these teams with length, with same athleticism or better against these Michigan Wolverines, they've unable to show up and they've unable to play at this level that we've expected them to.
Yeah, I think they get absolutely beat up on the glass. I mean,
that's it, exactly.
They have 4 big men who it's a revolving door policy for. Ricky Doyle starts, but by no means does that mean he's the best big man on the court at any given time. And when they played Xavier, who had 2 big men for the first time, they got absolutely dominated, as well as in this game against SMU. Out-rebounded by double.
Yeah, outplayed, exactly. And it's definitely a problem, and it has shown up in the past 2 years here that without a solid big man down there, since Mitch McGarry has left, Michigan Wolverines have been unable to keep up with these teams.
Even Jordan Morgan was an answer. Yeah,
even Jordan Morgan was, exactly. He was an answer as well. And Delaware State Hornets will inbound it as they get it over to Joseph Lewis on the wing, kicks it out to Haywood. Good ball movement here for the Hornets so far, as Joseph Lewis jab steps, fakes the 3, doesn't put it up, swings it out to Thomas. Thomas, pick there, takes a pick, finds a rolling Joseph Lewis, who puts up the shot, unable to convert as Zach Irving gets the board here.
A decent offense from Delaware State, not settling for a 3, unable to get it in.
And Zach Irving puts up the nice floater, but it's fouled on the play here, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Good take by Zach Irving. I like what he's doing today so far. He wasn't hot early on. He missed 2 long-range jumpers, but since then has had shots inside the paint. A great take there to get to the rim, unable to hit, but he was fouled. He's had 3 dunks so far, 6 points on the night.
Yeah, exactly. Zach Irving's done a good job of getting into the restricted zone, putting up those close, high-percentage shots that we want to see. And the first one goes up here off the front rim. Both notable good free throw shooters missed their first free throws of the night, unlike the Michigan Wolverines, who are well above 70% average as a team.
Yeah, definitely shooting about 78% on the season, and you have Karis LeVert, who misses first, who's normally a 90% shooter. Zach Irvin misses his second, 0 for 2.
Yeah, not a good sign here, as Haywood gets the ball here, met by Zach Irving, swings it out to Joseph Lewis at the top of the key, who gets it to the opposite end to Thomas, and Haywood at the M here dribbling. Unable to find anything, so defers off to Joseph Lewis, who puts a little crossover in front of Ricky Doyle, but Ricky Doyle stays disciplined. And Joseph Lewis drives in on Ricky Doyle, stands tall, unable to convert the rebound, or the layup, as Andrew Dawkins takes the rebound here. Finds an open, Duncan Robinson with a beautiful pass to find an open Ricky Doyle for the slam.
A great dime by Duncan Robinson. Good hands finally by Doyle, who's known for dropping a couple hot passes, but catches it cleanly and dunks it home.
Yeah, and Michigan Wolverines go up 35 here against Hornets 18. And then Delaware State Hornets get called for another offensive foul here. Look to be a push-off there on Karis LeVert, and he'll take it. And I mean, the Michigan Wolverines will take it here.
Yeah, good defense by Karis LeVert as well. In the previous possession, Lewis using his lengthy arms to get up a layup, but still contested very well by Ricky Doyle down low and unable to convert.
And Andrew Dockage will take the ball up the court, passes out to Ricky Doyle, puts in a bad pass to a cutting Duncan Robinson, is get turned over here. As Joseph Lewis takes up the court, bumps into Ricky Doyle and gets called for the blocking foul there. Right under a minute 30 here to go in Chrysler Center as the Delaware State Hornets here look to cut a little bit more into this leader, the Michigan Wolverines, on this possession.
Not a best 20 seconds of Ricky Doyle right there. Tried to reciprocate the act of Duncan Robinson on the assist, trying to dish it back to him. Not as great as a passer as he is. Turned it over and then called for the blocking foul.
And Thomas gets it back after he inbounds it, puts up the three right away, misses as Zach Irving takes up the court here. Scissors in and out between Delaware State Hornets, gets in the paint, cuts it out to the corner to Karis LeVert, who finds Ricky Doyle posted up inside in the mix match, and he puts it up for the slam.
Recovers well. He found his space. He knew he shouldn't be out on the three-point line, turning it over, find some space down low, and able, once again, catch it cleanly and slam it home.
Yeah, good to see that he's catching these hot passes so far as the Delaware State Hornets take it up the court here. As Andrew Dockage is egging on Thomas, not sure that he wants that from Khalid Thomas. As Waller puts up the three here off the backboard, unable to convert there, and Joseph Lewis gets called for the over-the-back foul on Zach Irving.
It's exciting to watch Andrew Dockage, isn't it? He's really into the game of basketball in general, just like I would say Spike Albrecht is when he's out on the court.
Yeah, he's definitely the motivator on the bench, and as we've seen on the court, definitely the energy guy. You know, he gets the team going. He might not be the most athletic guy out there, but
he's
got some enthusiasm. Exactly, he's a talker too. And beautiful pass off the pick and roll, find a rolling Ricky Doyle by Zach Irving, but fouled on the layup there, and Ricky Doyle will go to the line for two.
Not a bad move. Good hands up high by Ricky Doyle to collect that pass, try to put it up right away. Tough shot, not right under the basket, but good job to get fouled. Hopefully he hit his first from the line, maybe he can hit another.
Yep, and Michigan Wolverines here now in the 1-and-1 bonus here, as Ricky Doyle will put up two here for the shooting foul. And 40 seconds to go here for the first half, as Michigan leads 37 to the Delaware State Hornets 18.
Ricky Doyle misses the first free throw, rims out, 1 for 2.
And puts up the second here, drills it. Got a little help there from the Chrysler Center. As Thomas will take it up the court here with 35 seconds to go. Calling out the play here, Joseph Lewis coordinating with him, sets the pick here, finds a rolling, unable to get the pass, and defers out to Waller, who dribbles. 16 seconds left in the shot clock here to see if the Hornets can convert and get some points on the board before they go into the half. As Haywood dribbles, gets the pick, unable to get into the paint, is forced out, and last second passes it to Thomas, who gets called for the double dribble and is going Michigan Wolverines' way.
You're right. They did nothing inside the three-point line there. They're just weaving in and out outside the arc and not able to facilitate anything down low.
Yeah, Wolverines putting them to a hasty possession there as Ricky Doyle takes it back up at the top of the key, looking to give it off to Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert gets into the top of the paint, swings it back out to Zach Irving, finds him open for the three, puts it up off the front rim, and it'll be end of the half here. Michigan Wolverines go into the half with a 20-point lead here, 38 over the Delaware State Hornets with their 18. And Matt, any final words here you have that you want to see coming out of the second half? Do the Michigan Wolverines need to change anything?
I don't think too much needs to be changed. I think defensively they're rock solid. They're holding Delaware State to 26% from field goal shooting and 27% from three. They're 4 for 15. This might be the first game in a very, very long time that I've seen an opponent of Michigan attempt more three-pointers than Michigan themselves. Delaware State has taken 15 to Michigan's 11, and they've hit the same amount for threes.
Yeah, and it's not exactly the best strategy here, being that, you know, Delaware State Hornets are a 28% shooting three-point team, and putting up a lot of threes in volume, yes, might give you a higher effective field goal percentage, but if you're just not making them in the first place, you're not helping out your team here, and Coach Walker definitely has some adjustments to make for the Hornets coming out of this half.
Especially when you're not the best rebounding team either. Now, down that last stretch, Michigan out-rebounded Delaware State, so they're up 19-14 in that battle as well.
Yep, and that'll do us here for the first half for WCBN Sports. We'll be back for the second half action here. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome back to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan basketball. We're here with the second half of the Wolverines game against the Delaware State Hornets. 38-18 Michigan leads with 3-point shooting from Duncan Robinson as well as 10 points from Karis LeVert leading the Wolverines. Delaware State unable to get much done against this Michigan defense early in the first half. Adam, what do you expect to see in the second half from both the Wolverines and Delaware State if they're going to cut into this lead?
The Wolverines, I think they just need to stick with what they've been doing best so far, and that's been pushing this, keeping this three-point percentage down here on the Hornets. They're 4 of 15 so far, and definitely they've stayed sound on the defensive end. They just need to continue doing that. They have a 20-point lead here, but if I'm Michigan Wolverines, I really want to see some more playing out of the players that don't always get playing time, such as Cam Chapman. Get him going a little bit, because you need to get experience before we run into this Big Ten play here. And for the Hornets on the other side, they need to get hot from three-point shooting. They need to take a lesson out of NGIT's playbook, out of any good shooting team's playbook, is that you got to get hot if you want to beat a Michigan Wolverines team that relies so heavily on the three-point jump shot.
Michigan will inbound it from midcourt. Karis LeVert, Mar, Doyle, Robinson, and Irvin on offense for the Wolverines. Mar has it on the right side. Doyle at the top of the key with the ball. Swings it to Zach Irvin on the right. Dribbles across to the left side. Passes it to Karis LeVert on the left. Holds it outside the three-point arc. Passes it to Duncan Robinson. Fakes a three. Gives it back to LeVert on the left side. Dribbling baseline. Goes underneath. Kicks it out to Irvin. Irvin drives. Pops. No good. Rims out. Board by Delaware State. Bounces around to Morgan. Morgan takes it up to half court.
Yeah, great possession there. Unable to convert though. Zach Irvin got an open pop right there. Didn't get it in though.
Morgan has it on the right wing, looking to pass it. Dribbles back out to the midcourt. Mar defending him. 11 on the shot clock. Gets a screen. Still holds on to it. Out to Waller. Right. Drives in. Long two, missed. Zach Irvin on the rebound. Brings it up for the Wolverines. Drives quickly. Pops a little floater. And good. Swish for Zach Irvin.
Yeah, great move there. All the Hornets all just sucked in on Ricky Doyle, thinking he was going to pass it off, and had an open little floater right there for Zach Irving.
Morgan brings it up the court, guarded by Mar. Settling at the top, and offense working. Looks left, can't find anyone, drives it, left-hand layup. Mar forces a block, gets the own rebound, and takes it up for the Wolverines. Kicks it right to LeVert, fakes a three, dribbles in, pops it. No good, off the right iron. Delaware State looking to run with LeVert trailing way behind. A deep three from Racer, no good. Rebounded by Michigan, but stolen away. Taken in by Hughes. Pops it to no good. Doyle on the board, collects for the Wolverines. Mar taking it up, settled down. A little errant play by the Wolverines and Delaware State.
Yeah, Michigan Wolverines getting a little lazy on that outlet pass right there, coming out of bounds, and luckily that Hornets didn't convert.
Mar with an open three on the left side, missed. Rebounded by Hughes, gives it to his guard, who takes it up the court. Morgan at midcourt, crosses. Gives it to Waller at the top, guarded by Irvin. Kicks it over back to Morgan on the left side. Not much offense so far for Delaware State. 14 left on the shot clock, 40-18 to the Wolverines, 17:42 to go. Hughes dribbles in. Rebound by Duncan Robinson. Out to LeVert. LeVert dribbles in. Kick to Robinson, back to LeVert. Down low to Doyle. Doyle puts up a hook shot, and it trickles in. Bucket is good by Ricky Doyle. 42-18 to the Wolverines. 17:21 to go in the second half.
Yeah, it's definitely something you want to see out of Ricky Doyle, is that nice little hook there. See if you can get that going more, make it a trademark shot of his, be great for the Wolverines offense.
Racer out on the right side, defended by Irvin, swings it left. Now left to Hughes. Down low, intercepted by LeVert, but tipped out of bounds. Ball will go to Delaware State down low on the right side.
Yeah, Michigan Wolverines definitely hawks right now on this basketball. They've been tipping it everywhere. 2 steals at the beginning of the first half by Duncan Robinson alone here. So great to see that out of the Michigan Wolverines.
10 on the shot clock for Delaware State. Morgan will inbound it. Finds Hughes out top. Back to Morgan. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Defended by Mar. And he's stolen by Duncan Robinson. Outlet to LeVert in transition. He's got Zach Irvin on his left. Slows up. Finds Robinson open for 3. Book it!
Great splash there by Duncan Robinson on the trailing three-pointer. Good find from Karis LeVert.
Morgan now at the top, swings it across. Hughes has it, up at the top, down low. Back to Hughes. Morgan outside the 3, takes a long 3, no good. Rebound good by Zach Irvin, dribbles up the court. Moves inside the lane, kicks it to a wide open LeVert, pops the 3.
Another splash there by the Wolverines. Back-to-back threes extend this lead to 30.
Morgan brings it up, 48-18 to the Wolverines, 16-12 to go in the game. Dribbles inside the key, Hughes pops a shot. Bank is open and he hits it.
Wonder if he called bank there?
Waller is good from just outside the free throw line, and Marr will bring it up for the Wolverines. On the right side, goes across to the left, dishes to Zach Irvin. Zach Irvin outside the three-point line, working on his man, screened by Ricky Doyle. Takes him on the right, off the dribble, creates some space outside the free throw line, and hits it. Zach Irvin with a good mid-range jumper.
Yeah, hits the step back and creates that space. Put Waller on some skates there.
And a timeout by Delaware State as the Wolverines are up by 30. 50-20 with 15:32 left in the second half.
Yeah, great showing so far out of the second half by the Michigan Wolverines, bumping that lead up from the original, 8-point run here. 4-4 in their last. They're perfect coming out of the half. They've looked good. Open shots everywhere. Michigan Wolverines are finding it and they are converting it.
What do you think Delaware State has to do to cut into this lead? Now, no doubt, a 30-point lead in which they've only put 20 points up in this game is not something they're going to come back and win this game from. But what do they have to do to take something positive away from this game?
They need to show, I think, Coach Walker needs to start building an identity that they can rely on going on forward, whether that's improving their rebounding percentage as they're one of the worst rebounding teams in D1, whether they're able to get a three-point shot going. They don't have many strengths except maybe they should play more team basketball. There's not one singular scorer here for the Delaware State Hornets. Maybe build a more ball movement, passing, get 7-8 passes there, get some open looks so you don't have to rely on these playmakers to do it for you.
Yeah, as you mentioned in the first half, Delaware State was taking early threes all the time. They've attempted 17 and are 4 for 17, a dismal 24% from the three-point line. If they penetrate down low, it'd be interesting to see if they can attack these Michigan bigs who are known this season for being susceptible to play down low.
Yeah, exactly. And on the defensive side of the ball, Michigan Wolverines are having great ball movement, finding open threes, but it's also because the Hornets are not staying with their man. They're really helping. They're really clogging the paint and getting in there and swarming. We saw at the beginning of the first half and coming out of the second half, 3 or 4 Delaware Hornets are surrounding Zach Irvin, Karis LeVert, whoever gets into the paint there. And Karis LeVert, great vision. So Zach Irvin, he showed that last year. Kicks it out to the open man, happens to be Duncan Robinson. Maybe Karis LeVert, they drill the 3 and you keep building that lead.
It's nice to see them firing well from outside the arc. Now they're open looks, so you would hope they're hitting them, but 6 for 14 is very good from three-point line, as well as Zach Irvin hitting a mid-range jumper that is nice to see, having most of his points come from inside the paint so far.
Yeah, definitely would like to see him convert on a little more threes. He started 0 of 5 in his first game back, 1 of 2, 1 of 6. Those type of numbers you keep showing up for Zach Irvin. He needs to get a hot night from behind the arc.
And the players are taking the court in for the Wolverines. LeVert, Wagner, Robinson, and Irvin for Delaware State. Morgan, Tabakian, Onanafade, and Hughes will take it. Deep 2, no good. LeVert on the rebound. Dishes to Zach Irvin down low. Kicks it back to LeVert. Ball bouncing around midcourt. Takes it, slows it down. Give to Dawkins on the left side. LeVert outside the three-point line holding, screened by Wagner. Moves to the right side, dribbles in to the right, dishes down low to Wagner, puts up a shot, no good.
Not a good shot there. Rich Wagner should have collected himself before he put that up. He had an obvious mismatch over the 5'10 guard of Devin Morgan.
And a steal, nope, taken back by Delaware State, tipped by Wagner on the big hedge out top. Morgan will take it still by midcourt, 13 on the shot clock. Defended outside, Waller with the ball, kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson attempts a 3 with 7 seconds on the shot clock, rims out, Dawkins on the rebound. Pushing it, Dawkins kicks it out left, and an errant pass flies out of bounds, and Delaware State will get possession.
Now,
we go to a timeout now.
Who was that pass for? He sent that into the Blavin tunnel here in the Chrysler Center. I mean, closest man was Duncan Robinson, but he was out on the wing.
Yeah, Dawkins trying to push it after he gathers the rebound and had Robinson out on the left, and you would expect that it was a dribble drive to a kick, but completely misses the pass. Still 50-20 with 14:39 left in the second half.
Yeah, no fouls here. You know, already 5 minutes into the half. Both teams staying pretty disciplined on that end. There also hasn't been a lot of action in the paint for these fouls to be called either, so give and take what you want. But the Michigan Wolverines have looked great so far. They haven't scored in the past 2 minutes, but it doesn't matter as they have a very comfortable lead.
So at the beginning of the game, we were calling for the Wolverines big men to do something, and Doyle has 10 points tonight. 4 for 4, all shots down low, of course. What do you like out of him, and what do you want to see out of Wagner and Donnell?
Doyle has had great placement, and as we've seen, you know, he's got himself under the glass, right outside the restricted zone. He's set. I mean, the reason he starts is that he sets great picks. He's not as good of a rebounder as Jordan Morgan, but he sets the picks. He's a good high screen offense role player, and he's finally catching. You know, he gets good looks like against SMU. You've seen he's get good looks. He's just butterfingers, unable. So it's glad to see he's catching these hot passes and converting. It's something you want to see, and that's something you want to see out of both Donnell and Wagner, is getting in the paint, those open looks, making their Michigan Wolverines opponents be honest to the big man for the Michigan Wolverines, because you know, you just see other teams how they play. You know, they leave the big men open on the inside and they hedge hard on the guards because they don't want to give up the three-point shot. And by getting those open looks, getting the ball to them and converting, you know, you change that whole defensive scheme that opponents have towards the Wolverines.
Definitely. In your mentioning that Doyle is doing all of this today, not so much from Wagner. He's 0 for 2 with 0 points, and Donnell we've seen only for a couple minutes. Taking the court now is Wagner alongside Duncan Robinson, Irvin, Dawkins, and Levert. We're 14:39 left in the second half. Delaware State will have the ball and dribble it up the court. Tavakian in alongside Johnson, on a fade. Morgan will bring it up, and Lewis. Passes it in Tavakian on the left side. Johnson on the ball at the top. Guarded by Dawkins, holds it. Given to Morgan on the right wing, back to Johnson. Johnson at the top, dribbles in. Kicks it back to Tavakian. Stolen by Zach Irvin, but stolen right back by Tavakian. And then bounced around. Levert dishes it to Dawkins, and Dawkins dunks it home.
Yeah, what a great tip game right there. You know, nearly lost the steal from Zach Irvin, but Aubrey Dawkins there, ready to get the ball and get it down and have that transition dunk.
Morgan with the ball, dishes it to Waller. Waller on the right wing, holds it, defended by Robinson. Finds a pass down low, cutting Tavakian, puts up a layup, missed. And a foul on Zach Irvin called on the attempted rebound. Delaware State will get the ball below the basket.
Yeah, Aubrey Dawkins took a hard fall there, got tripped up on Tavakian, and that's what gave the open bucket there. And Zach Irving luckily was, you know, I mean, unfortunately got called for the over the back.
Thomas checks into the game and will inbound it for Delaware State. Searching, finds Johnson, open long two, air ball. No good. Delaware State recovers but throws it out of bounds while trying to save it. Ball will go to Michigan.
Yeah, air ball there by Amir Johnson, who had a career high 10 points against Dominion the other night. So not a good showing so far from him so far.
Zach Irvin will bring it up for the Wolverines, goes to the right side, looks for Robinson, hands it off to Robinson. Robinson on the right wing, dribbles across to the left, swings to Dawkins. Dawkins to Levert, and called with a hand check foul on Thomas. Levert fouled just outside the three-point line. And a substitution for Delaware State. Number 1, DeAndre Haywood checks in for the Hornets. Inbound, Irvin passes it to Levert at the top of the key. Levert dribbles to the right side, finds Duncan Robinson outside the three-point line, holds, gives it to Wagner at the top. Wagner fakes a three, dribbles in, goes up, blocked and tipped, no good. Rebound by Onafade. Thomas brings it up for Delaware State. Given to Johnson at the top. Johnson finds Thomas again. Cutting to Vakade. Cut in. Tipped by a Wolverine defender. Passed up from Dawkins. Irvin in the lane. Lays it in.
A beautiful steal there again by Zach Irving. He's jumpstart 2 fast breaks here as Michigan goes up 54-20 over the Hornets.
Thomas brings it up the court, defended by Karis LeVert, and those pesky hands. Tavakian on the right. Johnson on the ball. Back to Thomas, still outside the 3-point line. Searching, goes into the lane, puts up a little floater, and called for the charging foul. Karis LeVert draws it.
Yeah, and that'll be a second charge foul there on Haywood, who goes in like a train and just pile drives Karis LeVert back to the Michigan out of bounds there.
And Cam Chapman checks in for Zach Irvin. Zach Irvin having a good day so far. Karis LeVert will inbound it to Duncan Robinson. 12:51 left in the second half. 54-20 to the Wolverines. Karis LeVert brings it up. Met early by a little token pressure. Karis LeVert dribbles in to the left side, swings it to Chapman. Chapman open for 3, no good. Rebound by Delaware State. On a fade on the rebound, out to Thomas, crosses midcourt, slows it down now. Given to Haywood outright. Picked by Onafade. Karis LeVert beats it. Haywood swings it left. In the corner to Thomas. Thomas pulls up from 3, no good. Ball bounces around, Chapman finds it. Chapman bring it up the court for the Wolverines. Long pass cross court to Robinson. Robinson pulls up from 3, book it. Robinson hits another.
Yeah, Cam Chapman with his 3rd assist of the night. He's shown great vision tonight.
DeAndre Haywood has the ball. Gives it to Johnson. Johnson to Thomas on the right side for Delaware State. Puts it in the middle. And a foul called on Duncan Robinson on Waller. Waller picks up the foul as he found some space in the lane and able to draw Robinson.
Yeah, Waller looked to body him in there, and Duncan Robinson just pushed back, and you got to stand vertical right there. You can't take up space that Waller was trying to get into, and he got called for the shooting foul.
Duncan Robinson hitting 2 threes since we last broke, finding some rhythm from outside the arc. Now 4 for 6 on the night, 3 for 5 from 3.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson looks to, he's really come into rhythm these past 4 or 5 games. Starting back at, what was it, Elon, where he went 5 of 5 from 3-point shooting, and then using that moment, and unfortunately got cold in battle for Atlantis, but came back and has really put a good couple of games here, being the 2nd leading scorer, 1st leading scorer here for the Michigan Wolverines, but they all come from 3-point shooting, and you'd think opponents would catch on by now.
Yeah, you would expect so, and even in the game against SMU where everyone else was cold, he went for 5 for 7. So he's been hot, like you mentioned, almost all season except in the battle for Atlantis, but it seems though even if he's getting it done, Michigan's not going to win just because of that. They need Karis LeVert to get it done too. Tonight, 13 points, 4 for 6 from the field, something he couldn't do against SMU.
Yeah, you're right. The Michigan Wolverines, it's been Robinson and Karis LeVert, 2 of the really good scorers on this team. They've only been on together 1 or 2 games this season, and that's really been telling for the Michigan Wolverines that they've had to rely on a very singular dimension of shooting and scoring from one player, or maybe 1 or 2 other. Mo Wagner had a very good game, but then Karis LeVert deferred a lot to him, only scored 16 points that night. What I want to see from Michigan Wolverines is that all 3 or 4 of these players can get hot at the same time, and it'll be lethal. It'll finally come together, and the Michigan Wolverines will really pick up steam into Big Ten play.
Well, you're mentioning 3 or 4 players. Now, we do have 4 Wolverines in double digits. So we mentioned Robinson with 11 and LeVert with 13. But Zach Irvin has amounted his total to 12 points on the night, and we, of course, mentioned Doyle, who has 10 as well. What do you like out of Irvin so far this game that we haven't seen previously?
Well, he hasn't had his 3-point shooting going as of late, so it's great to see him getting in the paint, putting up nice layups, driving to the basket for those 2 one-handed slams, and he's shown that he can adjust his game, and that's great from seeing him last year. He was forced into the playmaker role, showed he could adjust his game to that. So, smart player, great performance for him for tonight. Hopefully he can get that 3-point stroke back, but it's great to see him tonight putting up points and getting to the lane.
Waller goes to the line to shoot 2 free throws after being fouled. and misses the second. Misses the first after it rims out. Will attempt the second here. 11:59 remains in the second half. 57-20 to the Wolverines.
And Dockage is talking some smack to Haywood in his ear there. That's second or third time here we've seen him, smacking his chops against the Hornets.
He's excited to be playing. Get some token pressure from Thompson. Dawkins has it now. Levert at the top. Dockage with the ball on the right wing. Sets up a play. Looks to beeline. Dribbles it a little left. Gives it to Chapman on the right wing. Chapman back to Dawkins. To Dockage to Dawkins. Levert in the paint. Holds the ball. Kicks it to Dawkins. Levert gets the ball again. Out at the top. Finds Chapman cutting in the middle of the lane. Puts up a shot and good.
Yeah, great way to beat that 2-3 zone there the Hornets put out against him. Found Cam Chapman in the middle and he hit that turnaround jump shot.
Haywood with the ball on the right side. Passes to Waller at the top of the key. Thompson now on the left receives the pass. Holding it on the left side. Defended by Dockage. Moves around to the middle. Thomas passes it across now. DeAndre Haywood with the ball, guarded by Chapman. Holds the ball, continues to dribble. On the left side now, 5 seconds, puts up a shot, no good. Dawkins on the board. Dawkins dribbles it up midcourt. Dockage with it now on the right wing. In the corner, Dockage dribbling baseline now, looking to kick it. Kicks it to Dawkins in the left side. Dawkins across to Levert, back at the top. And Michigan will restart the offense with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Chapman now receives on the right side, back to Dockage. Levert open from three. Rims out. Dawkins tries to fly and get the board, no good. Delaware State will get the ball as it bumps out of bounds.
Dockage is demanding the ball on that possession. I think he wants to get back on the scoreboard here and give it to the Hornets a little more.
Thomas brings it up. Given to Racer. Racer now loses the handles. Chapman recovers it for the Wolverines. Gets out in transition. Kicks it to Dawkins. Dawkins finds Levert down low, who goes up with it. Misses the layup, but Wagner is there with the left hand to tip it in.
Yeah, good to see Wagner get on the board for his first points of the night. And, struggling out of three. He's got blocked twice, so great conversion there.
Thomas brings it back up for Delaware State, defended by Dockage. Racer with the ball on the right side. Gives it to Waller, tipped by Levert. Levert in transition, has tons of space, slams it home.
He took off from well outside the restricted zone and flashed that athleticism for the one-handed slam. That was beautiful.
Pushed up by Haywood, given to Waller. Thomas on the right side now. Thomas slows it down for Delaware State. Passes it back to Haywood on the left side, defended by Levert. In a 2-3 zone now, the Wolverines, with Dockage and Levert at the top. Thomas at the top with the ball, giving back to Haywood. They can't penetrate right now, so Haywood takes it in and draws a blocking foul once he penetrates. 6 seconds remain on the shot clock. 9:35 on the game clock as the Wolverines lead 63-21.
Yeah, and Wagner there, set for the charge, and Haywood squeaked around him, and Wagner sort of put his hip out there and got called for the blocking foul.
Yeah, Beeline going with a 2-3 defense, maybe to test it out if they have this game in control. And an air ball by Sill as he has just checked in. Michigan recovers. Dockage up the right side, dribbles fast. Tipped away, but Chapman gathers. Dockage back with it. Finds Marr in the corner, open for three. Good!
Great to see a great shot there as Cam Chapman swung the ball. Good ball movement to find an open Rockman.
And Delaware State has the ball now. Haywood with it, up to Waller on the right wing. Haywood receives it back in the right corner, misses the three. Rebound down low by Onafade, and a foul called on...
Looked to be Marr. He's holding his hand down, or holding Onanafade's hand on the rebound, restricting it from getting it. Sorry about that.
No worries. Haywood will inbound it down low for Delaware State. Finds Sill on the right side. Sill holds it. Dishes it out to Carter. Carter outside the three-point line, commands the offense for Delaware State. Dribbles to the right side, still outside the three-point line. Marr defending. Passes it into Haywood. Haywood tries to drive, turns, picks up his dribble. Back to Carter, outside the three-point line. Marr defending, has to put up a shot, and rims out. Dockage with the rebound. Dribbles it up for the Wolverines. Dockage at the top of the key. Moves into the left side, takes it by himself, baseline, tries to dish it to Wagner, misses. Carter in transition, dishes to Haywood. and he is fouled on the way up. Delaware State able to get out in transition, but fouled before the layup.
No, looked to be poked out there by Aubrey Dawkins and went out of bounds off of him, I believe.
You're right, not a foul called. A good play by the Michigan then to defend, and Delaware State will inbound it from down low, given to Sill outside the three-point line, across to Carter on the right side, defended by Marr. Passes it into Waller on the right wing. Looking, searching, finds Onafade, guarded by Wagner, and he passes it out left to Haywood. Haywood drives in, and a blocking foul is called on Marr as he penetrates the lane.
Yeah, and Michigan Wolverines switching back out to the man-to-man here on the defensive side, and Aubrey Dawkins just got beat there by Haywood.
Haywood will go to the line to shoot two. The Wolverines lead 66-21 with 8:15 left in the second half. Puts up the first, clanks off the back iron. Checking in for the Wolverines, Zach Irvin for Marr and Ricky Doyle for Moritz Wagner.
And interesting to see Ricky Doyle back in for action with 8 minutes to go here in the second half. With this comfortable 45-point lead, you'd hope to see Mark Donnell gets a little time to see if he can get comfortable. You know, maybe Coach Beeline hesitant to put him in because he had a rough night. You know, maybe something's not going well and it's more of a teaching night for him. Who knows?
Haywood misses the second and Wolverines bring it up. Dockage has the ball at the top of the key. Out left to Dawkins. Dawkins holds. Find Irvin. Irvin is open for three but decides not to take it. Gives it to Dawkins, who is open himself. Shoots the three, misses, but big board by Ricky Doyle corrals in the right corner and tosses it back out to Dockage, who sets it up. Tries to dish a pass out left to Dawkins, but it's tipped away by Haywood, and that will be the under 8 timeout here at Chrysler Arena. Michigan leads 66-21 over Delaware State.
Yeah, Michigan Wolverines, very comfortable lead here, seem to be putting out various players they don't get to see a lot of time playing, you know, and then you have the experienced leaders here, so it seems to be just a time killer here, just waiting for the game to get over with this comfortable lead. You know, Hornets have not showed any form of offense anywhere capable of converting and putting it in, so seems to be just getting to the end of the game here for the Michigan Wolverines, as we see people of the Chrysler Center here are already heading for the exit tunnels.
The students have to get back to studying. Finals are coming up. Not many came out today for the 12 o'clock start. I'm sure many sleeping in and then getting to those studies. I know yourself, Adam, you've got a big day of studying ahead of you. Now, Michigan is probably very confident about this win, of course a 45-point lead, but if there's one thing you can pull away that you are not impressed by for the Wolverines, who is that player you're not impressed by, or what needs to get done as they approach Big Ten season?
I have to say Moritz Wagner, I haven't been totally it's just that after you see that performance against Charlotte, you're just like salivating over the potential that Wagner has as a player. You know, he showed everything: three-point stroke, inside play, beautiful dunk, you know, fancy finishes, and then you just have those question mark performances out of him where he just disappears. You know, he's a lackluster on the defensive side, and it's just part of the development for him. I think he's very young. He's 18 years old, coming from Alba, Germany, or Berlin, Germany, playing for under 16 Alba growing up before, you know, choosing between signing professionally or coming here. And it's definitely a learning curve. Basketball's, you know, the U.S. is the hub for basketball. The competitiveness is here, especially at the college stage and professional stage. So, disappointing night out of Moritz Wagner, I'd say. Somewhat, you know, he hasn't flashed what we all would like to see out of him.
Of course, and we've talked about it all day as well, as that Doyle's taking some of those minutes today, but Wagner has had his share, especially over Mark Donnell, who's seen about 2 minutes today and still wears his warm-up shirt, so I'm not sure that he's getting in anytime soon. Doyle is back out on the court for the Wolverines, and Irvin inbounds it. Irvin holds at the top, gives it to Dawkins on the left wing. Trying to find someone. Doyle checks out, gives it to Chapman. Chapman on the right wing. Dawkins straight away from three, rims out. Contested rebound, no good. Carter brings it up for Delaware State. Slows it down. Carter still out on the block M, defended by Dockage. Still receives it on the right side outside the three-point line. Waller receives, switches back to Carter on the left side. Searching for a pass, can't find anything, moves out to the right side. Dishes to Haywood on the right. Tries to shot fake, gives it to Carter. Carter shoots a 3 from way downtown, misses. Rebound bounces around, no one can grab it. Delaware State with it now, no. Ricky Doyle slides, pushes it up court to no one, takes out the referee. Delaware State will recover the ball on their own end and bring it back up. Haywood drives into the lane, layup no good.
But foul called there on Aubrey Dawkins, who contested it, and Ricky Doyle took the legs out of the officiating crew right there, and he went sliding along there with him.
And Beeline turning to his bench right now and having a laugh at the move of Ricky Doyle, trying to earn some hustle points by hitting the floor for the ball, but in consequence takes out the referee around midcourt. Kind of a scattered play all around, but ends up with Haywood going to the line for Delaware State.
Yeah, and I'd like to note that this is the 4th time that the Delaware State Hornets have fallen to the Maze Rage's shot clock count. They were saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There was 10 seconds left on the shot clock, and Johnson put up that deep 3 there for no reason, and resulted in that. And it's good to see Gumpy Ricky Doyle there getting on the floor, showing some hustle.
Haywood will attempt the free throw. The first one is good. And checking in for Delaware State is Gosovic for Sill.
And the Michigan Wolverines here still with the multiple of 3 lead here, 66-22 over the Hornets.
Haywood.
Both teams not showing much offense.
Haywood hits the second, and Dockich brings it in. A little pressure. Passes it way up to Chapman, who finds some space. Pops a jumper, and good! Chapman with a nice mid-range jumper.
And Zach Irving there over to congratulate him, get some momentum pumped for Cam Chapman. Great showing tonight for him.
Carter brings it up the court, defended by Dockich. Searching, can't find anyone. Picks up his dribble. Give it to Haywood out on the left. Brings it in. Shot fake, back to Carter outside. Resets the offense with 12 on the shot clock, defended by Dockich still. Dribbles in, trying to pick up a screen. Moves on the right, and a charge drawn by big Ricky Doyle down low on the layup by Carter.
Hard collision there, but Ricky Doyle got his feet set outside the restricted zone well before Carter even had met him. Carter went up anyway and got called for the charge.
Zach Irvin will inbound it for the Wolverines as they wipe up the court, and Moritz Wagner is checking in for the Wolverines for Ricky Doyle. John Beeline very happy with Ricky Doyle's performance today.
Yeah, exactly. Ricky Doyle's had a great performance. He's had some sloppy performances, as we've noted before this season. So great to see him come out and get another confidence builder.
A little token pressure by Delaware State. Michigan brings it up with no trouble. Zach Irvin outside the three-point line, handling it, looking for a pass, gives it off to Dockich to the right, who swings it to Chapman on the right wing. Finds a cutting Irvin down low, loses the handles, ball bounces around, collected by Dawkins though on the left wing. 8 on the shot clock outside the three-point line, gives it to Dockich, who has some open space on the baseline. Kicks it to Chapman. Chapman finds himself down low, goes up for the layup and is fouled.
A great positioning there by Cam Chapman, getting into the paint, knowing that Wagner was on the other end of the floor, not knowing that the ball was still on the Wolverines side. And he's getting rewarded here for getting 2 at the line.
The Wolverines lead 68-23 with 5:51 left in the game. Chapman attempting the first. Bounces off the front rim, no good.
Cam Chapman, very efficient night tonight, 4-6 from the field for 9 points. He also has 3 rebounds and 3 assists, so great overall game for him.
Hits the second free throw. Delaware State brings it up. Carter across midcourt, setting up the offense. Finds Govic out right, defended by Chapman. Swings it across, and Carter will have the ball outside. Haywood defended by Dockich. Resets, 14 on the shot clock. Dribbles past Dockich, pops it deep, 2, no good. Rebound by Dawkins, brings it up fast for the Wolverines. Going into the lane, finds some space, rejected down low as he went up for a layup. Hits the floor hard. Ball will go to Michigan after the block.
Nafade again with the vicious block. That's 2 now on the night for him.
Dawkins went up with that one hand holding the ball out there. It was waiting to be blocked. Dished inside now off the inbounds. Wagner has it down low, collects. Finds Chapman open for 3. Swings it to Zach Irvin, who misses his 3. Rebound though by Dawkins. Dockich gets it back out the top. Great offensive board play by the Wolverines. Dawkins in the corner, takes a baseline, finds Wagner down low, spins, kicks it to Zach Irvin, to Dockich. Dockich open for three, does not bank in.
Nearly puts it in. He's a little overhyped there. He's stepping back, falling away after three-point shot like he's going to put that one in.
The whole bench got off its feet, and I'm sure most of the student section who is still here was excited for that one, but unable to bank it in a little more than I'm sure he wanted on that shot. Carter brings it up for Delaware State, gives it to Gavachik. And a foul, reach-in foul called on Dawkins as Waller takes it in to the lane.
Yeah, Dawkins there, little surprised he was that open on the three when he let that one loose. Put way too much leg power into that one.
And it looks like Mar will check in for Zach Irvin with 4:48 remaining in the game. 69-23, the Wolverines lead.
And as he checks out, the Chrysler Center giving him an applause. Great performance out of him tonight. Unable to convert on any of his three-point attempts, but great showing inside the paint, showing he's got a little more of an offensive arsenal than he did last year.
Waller misses the first one of two, and Michigan out in transition. Gives it to Mar. Dockage dishes to Mar, that is. Mar around midcourt being fouled, but no call. Dawkins collects. Alley-oop to Dawkins, and he misses.
And Andrew Dawkins and Aubrey Dawkins had something set up there for practice or what, because they knew what was happening. Puts up the nice fancy pass there, lob pass, but Aubrey Dawkins unable to slam it home, put a little too much strength on that one.
The ball bouncing all over the place, and finally Dawkins grabs it and just tosses it up one hand to Dawkins. Really was going to be a spectacular play, but Dawkins misses his second alley-oop dunk of the night. And then a foul in transition. It looks like Anafe will go to the line to shoot 1 of 1. He misses the first, and a rebound by Mark Donnell, who has checked in. Both Wagner and Donnell in the game, 2 bigs for the Wolverines. Mar brings it up the court, met by token pressure. Dawkins has the ball, dishes inside to a cutting Dawkins and Dockich and lays it in. Nicely done.
Beautiful layup right there, and Andrew Dawkins talking again as he goes down the court.
Carter will bring it up for Delaware State. 4:09 left in this game. 71-23 to the Wolverines. Carter receives it now on the right wing after some passing outside the key. Haywood at the top, defended by Dawkins. Carter again, down low to Waller. Waller inside, pass it to Gosovic. Working on more, it's Wagner. Puts it up, and a good shot falls.
Somehow, I mean, it looked like a halfway turnaround / hook shot. So somehow got to go over the much taller Wagner.
Mar dribbles it up. Wagner now receives it on the right side. Dribbling across to the left, finds a cutting Dawkins. Dawkins goes in and is tied up as he tries to go in the lane. And a timeout called as we are at the under 4. 3:34 remaining in this game. A lot of fans filing out as their Wolverines have the lead, 71-25.
Michigan could possibly overcome Old Dominion's blowout win against them, is putting one of the worst losses on the Hornets' record so far this year.
And the Wolverines really getting it done and able to get a lot of subs into the game. Dockich finding some more minutes. And I don't know that we all expected Dockich, as soon as his red shirt was burned, to find this much time out on the court, though Beeline found those minutes for him.
Yeah, I mean, it had to have been the lead that Michigan grew going into the end of the first half. You know, Dockich did see significant minutes there, but I think that's what it is that we have this huge lead. Give an opportunity to the guys that don't play a lot.
The other thing to note, though, is Mar has 4 fouls, so he hasn't been playing a ton this second half, though. He was in the game right before this timeout. Dockich has 4 points on the night. He has 2 easy lay-ins, though, making great cuts to the basket. Now, 4 points doesn't sound like much. However, he is playing very well for the time he has seen.
Yeah, the minutes he's a talker, that's for sure. He's been sharing some smack to the Hornets, walking up and down the court. When he even makes the shots or doesn't, whatever's happened, he's letting it know that he plays for the Wolverines.
Now, do you expect to see any major substitutions for the Wolverines now that we're under the 4 timeout with 3:34 left in the game?
I mean, I don't see anybody else coming in here. The new walk-on Habit, I don't see him playing this year. Just that we're so deep. I mean, Michigan is just so deep on the wing. And you know, seeing Donnell and Wagner come in, a very untraditional lineup for Beeline, sort of notes that, you know, this is going to be the lineup they're going to finish out with and clean house for tonight.
Yep, Donnell will come back out onto the court, as well as Dawkins. Dokic, as you mentioned, Moritz Wagner coming back out, so two relatively big men, as well as Mar will come back out onto the court for the Wolverines. Obviously, Beeline testing out different lineups to prepare for a big-time season. A couple more easier opponents before we get there. 3:34 remaining in this game. Not much else to be done other than for the clock to hit 00.
Yeah, and look for DJ Wilson to get healthy for the next couple of games to see if he can get in some of these new testing lineups, because he really is a 4 in most offenses.
Carter will bring it up for Delaware State. Haywood receives it out on the left side. Looking to pass it. Gets a screen. Back out by the block M. 19 on the shot clock. Still Haywood with the ball to Carter on the right side. Finds some space, dribbles in, puts up a shot, and he is fouled by Moritz Wagner as he puts up a layup. No good, though.
And that'll be 9 fouls on the night for the Michigan Wolverines going in the second half there, as they're still in the single, as the Hornets are now still in the single bonus here. Need one more foul to get into the double bonus.
Carter hits the first free throw. It was a shooting foul, so he is shooting 2. 3:15 left in the game.
And the Hornets are 1 of 12 of their last shots, so getting to the line here, putting more points on the board.
Carter makes the second. A little pressure from Delaware State now. Dawkins can't receive the inbound, but Dawkins does as he checks for the ball. He'll bring it up for the Wolverines. Dokic looking for the ball left. Dawkins sprints past, finds Dokic out left, who dishes it to Wagner to Mar. Out on the top, dribbles into the lane, finds Dawkins open for 3, puts it up, and good.
Good to see that out of Dawkins, who was 1 of 7 up until then, now 2 of 8.
Carter brings it back up for Delaware State. Finds Waller out on the left side. Waller to Haywood at the top. And a little miscommunication, and Gosovic, though, picks up the pass. Working on Wagner. Kicks it back out to Carter. Carter well outside the three-point line, trying to set up a new play. Working on Dokic. Gets a switch. Dawkins on him now. Carter stuck in the lane, and he travels as he picks up his dribble.
Yeah, picks up the dribble, swings his pivot foot 1 step. You know, not a good play. You know, sort of a good depiction of what has happened here for the Hornets this game. Sloppy play, sloppy all-around performance.
Michigan setting up their offense. Wagner has it at the top, hands it off to Dawkins. Dokic runs over to receive it on the left side, just outside the 3. Dribbles into the lane, kicks it to Donnell. Donnell from 3, off the right rim and out. Delaware State collects. In transition, Carter receives it on the left side, outside the three-point line, looking to let it down low. Gosovic receives it, working on Wagner, dribbling inside. Dishes it down low to Haywood, who was wide open, and puts up an easy layup. Good.
Yeah, Rockman got caught on Carter there, and then Dokic unable to switch back over.
The Wolverines lead 74-29, 1:43 remaining in the game. Mar brings it up the right side, looking to pass it to Wagner. Wagner cutting, receives it, though, on the right side, passes to Donnell at the top. Donnell dribbles to the left, hands off to Dawkins. Dawkins in the lane, kicks it to Mar. Mar puts up a 3, good.
Second 3 of the night, he splashes it home off a curl there. Great shot there.
Carter brings it across for Delaware State. Only 1:17 remaining in the game. Gives it to Anafade, defended by Donnell. Gosovic working on Wagner now, who receives it down low, puts up a left-hand layup, no good. Rebound by Donnell. Donnell dishes it out to Mar. Mar in transition, dribbles, drives, finds Dokic on the left side, puts an alley-oop, but Wagner doesn't take it, just collects the pass. Wagner walks out for a 3, no good.
Dokic is screaming at Wagner right there for not going up for that. He wanted the assist.
Haywood takes it, drives in the lane, and puts up a little floater in the lane. Good. Gets Delaware State to 31 on the night. Michigan 77. 42 seconds remaining in the game. Dokic takes it, kicks it to Wagner. Wagner to Mar. Mar puts up another 3, and it falls.
Mar showing some stroke tonight.
Delaware State brings it back up. 30 seconds remain in the game. Carter has it on the right wing, defended by Dokic, just sitting there. Dishes it down low to Gosovic. Gosovic working on the low post against Wagner. Wagner trying to size him up. Puts up a shot, banks at home. A good left-handed turnaround shot by him. 19 seconds remaining in the game.
Yeah, Wagner's got to show more discipline there. I mean, how he's getting beat by a much smaller Sill, and it's unfortunate for one of the more disappointing performances.
And there is 7 seconds left. Michigan will run this game out. 80-33 will be our final score from Chrysler as the Wolverines defeat Delaware State very handily. Adam, what do you like out of this game? What do you take away?
Michigan Wolverines, showing off the three-point stroke, started shooting less three-point attempts than the Hornets, but came away with 27 attempts, made 11 on 40% shooting. Great night out of Rockman, great night all around, and as 6 Wolverines in double digits on the night. Didn't require, great all-around effort is what we want to see, and as you noted, Michigan Wolverines had a great, strong showing against what we should have expected in the first place against the Hornets. But, looking forward, they take on 3 more very lackluster teams in Northern Kentucky, Youngstown State, and Bryant before heading off to begin Big Ten play against Illinois. But the Michigan Wolverines need to finish out this next 3-game stretch on a high note to build confidence and get ready for Big Ten play if they want to build a resume that the NCAA is going to want going into the tourney.
A great and expected victory by the Wolverines today. Again, they close out 80-33 over Delaware State. From Adam Broadnax, this is Matthew Cox signing off for WCBN Sports. Have a good day and go Blue.